Hi there, my name's Alistair Kennedy and I'm the Sociable Social Worker, and I give practical advice to social workers and those wanting to foster and adopt. In this video we're going to look at being a social worker, why you want to become a social worker. Are you mad? Why do you want to become a social worker? But we'll look at the reasons why some people choose to be social workers. So stay tuned. People might become social workers for a variety of reasons. They might have had a care experience. So for example, most of my subscribers know that I was fostered and then adopted, and just by chance I've ended up working in a fostering and adoption sector, which I truly love because it's really dear to my heart. Others, you might have met someone at a party who might have actually admitted that they were a social worker and didn't pretend to be an electrician, which I used to do when I started in social work, because people always ask you about their child and if they think their child's got autism or Asperger's or whatever. Or they might want to, as I've said in previous videos, make a difference, which is one of the worst things you could say in an interview ever. So please don't say you want to make a difference. And it's still seen as a profession with good job prospects. You're never going to be out of work, let's face it. And it's still one of the few jobs like undertakers that people will always need in their life. So I guess social work has changed in the 20 years odd that I've been a social worker, but I still feel like a social worker at heart, regardless that I'm probably a little bit pessimistic and I've seen it, done it, kind of got the t-shirt and heard everything in social work that I'm ever going to hear. But you still try to make, well, here it comes, the difference, and you do what you can. You can't save everybody, you can't change everybody. I've said that in a previous video too. You just do what you can with the time that you have. Being a social worker is one of the best jobs in the world, I think. You're pretty much autonomous. You can work within your own theory. You can work with your practice experience. You know, you can try things out. You can communicate with lots of different people in lots of different settings. I mean, in the press, it's all, and the film industry is all about TV social workers are always seen as child catchers, and people always say like, because I work in foster and adoption, chitty chitty bang bang child catcher. Do you know, I've never actually seen chitty chitty bang bang. And, or that we're overly nosy parkers. But as a practitioner, I think you've got the freedom to change lives. You really do have the freedom to change lives. And it's that autonomy and freedom in your work and in a team or alone that gives you that chance to make changes. Big changes and small changes, but just not all the time. Being a social worker, you can turn theory into practice. You'll be able to use key theories in practice, and in some other areas you'll just need to use your common sense. It's that balance that makes a job interesting. In another video in newly qualified social workers, I sarcastically said that theory won't help you when you're locked in a room with someone with a knife. Now, that's a wee bit over the top, but I guess, a fly, yeah. But I guess your de-escalation theories and your communication theories will help in that situation. Oh no, it's a wasp. What's out the window? So let's face it, when you become a social worker, you don't do it to get rich. There's loads of videos online by social workers, loads of clickbait videos going, social workers can make 50,000 a year. I became a millionaire as a social worker. But let's face it, the highest paid I've seen as a social worker in practice is probably about 50 or 60k or about $50,000. Will you get rich? Well, you're never going to live like Donald Trump. But let's face it, we don't do it for the money. We do it because we learn life lessons. We learn about what makes others tick, what makes ourselves tick. We can be the best communicator. We'll learn to manage every conceivable or inconceivable situation that crops up. And nothing will faze you when, as they say, when life throws you lemons in social work, you know the rest. So that old adage for being a social worker stands: you don't have to be mad to be one, but it helps.